Hey guys, we are live, and this is the first pre-match of the first test match between India and England. Exciting times. The summer is back. The red ball format is back. We're both wearing whites. This is how we move forward into
It
the red
is
ball season.
test season. Let's go.
Yeah, it's
Someone's already commented late, but we're on time, dude. We're just waiting for you all to get warmed up in the chat. India England is finally here.
true.
Yeah.
There might have been echo in the beginning. I apologize for that. I didn't see there was another audio that was apparently switched on. Yeah, yeah. Pranav.
It's okay. We have lag.
Yes. Now the echo should be gone.
Now the echo will be gone, guys.
What a start, no? After all the things we prepared, I like how this echo will never leave us alone. Jurel or Karun? Hello Jay, hello Gokul, hi Charan, hi Vignesh, hi Pranav.
Some new names in the
Yeah,
chat.
Pranav, it was very interesting for you to say how winning the toss and choosing to bowl
Bowl
first will
first,
be
yeah.
crucial. It is something we will talk about. Echo looks like you have never been in our life before. Damn, Akshay. Why the attack? Where's the Rohit West? Is there still echo? Let us know if the echo is still there. Don't think it should be there anymore. But if it is still there, let us know, please. I don't think. Who won the toss? Right. So the toss is at 3 o'clock. The match starts at 3:30. If you're joining us for the first time, hit that like button. It'll help push the live to more and more people. And yeah, we have a lot of segments. We have a lot of things to talk about. We'll talk about the pitch itself. We'll talk about how England have done in this ground historically since 2020, how India have done in this ground historically. We'll talk about matchups, playing 11s. There's so much to talk about. Sounds great. Good to go. Ace.
Awesome.
Brilliant stuff. It's a me. Nice. How do you pronounce it? Scopophobic? Scopophobic. But nice.
Nice.
Yeah, there's a lot to talk about. So if a reminder for you guys, and especially if you guys are joining us for the first time, we will go live every day, pre-match, pre-day at 2:30 a.m. p.m.
PM.
at 2:30 p.m. and we will go post day as well, which should be around 11 o'clock unless
Yeah.
they extend play. Then it'll be at around 11:30. But we will be going live pre and post no matter what.
Akshay says, "Where is Ashwin?" He's there.
You see this beard coming back? Hey Sudarshan, hey!
What's up?
He's the stat man. Guys, everyone, if you guys know who Sudarshan is, give him a little shout in the chat because he's the stat man. He comes up with every bizarre stat, which is also cool. J Cube,
2:30 p.m. is a great time to join pre-match on working days.
great.
That's good. Eat your
Vishal
lunch
Kumar,
late. Yeah.
Sai Sudarshan or Karun Nair for number 3. We'll talk about all of this. We'll wait for just a few more minutes before we get into everything there is to get into. A reminder that 3 o'clock is toss, for which we will go away, but
Yeah.
then we will come back after the toss and then talk about the playing 11s. We already know England's playing 11, but India's will be very, very interesting with the number 3, number 6, with the bowling lineup, with so many things to talk about.
True.
Hi, Mohammed. Oh, hi,
Jawad.
Jawad. Sorry, my God.
Jawad, what's up?
Hi, Jawad. It's great to see you guys here on a Friday afternoon. What work days for unemployment? Akshay, I'm so curious to know what you do,
Oh,
dude.
the viewers just jumped to 37. Awesome. Stay tuned in. We're going to start very soon. We can probably
Yeah,
start
we can start. Let's go on.
segment.
Let's talk about the pitch.
Pitch. Awesome. So let's get
Oh,
in.
1 second. I
Yeah.
apologize. I'm going to go back.
Yeah.
If you guys were here for the Border Gavaskar Trophy, you would have noticed all the names, segment names.
Oh,
So
yeah.
watch out for the segment names on this one. But yeah, let's go to the pitch.
All right. Pitch is probably the only normal segment name we have. Rest everything is puns. So do watch out. But first test match is going to happen in Headingley, Leeds. Historically, it's not been a great ground for England, for India. That's something we will get to later. But solely talking about the pitch and the conditions, a lot of reports have been going around about how it is unusually hotter at this time of the year, especially in Leeds. There's also forecast for rain. So it is going to be interesting to see how the pitch plays. Now, couple of days back, there was a picture released of the pitch and it was just green. You couldn't differentiate the pitch strip from the rest of the outfield. Everyone was panicking. But the latest picture that we've got, and I'm sure you would have seen it do the rounds on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it, it's a lot drier. And because of how much the sun is beating down, the pitch is going to get drier and drier as the game starts and progresses. That's one thing. However, having said that, at Headingley, the last few times the matches have happened, teams bowling first, teams winning the toss and choosing to bowl first have won. If I'm not wrong, the number is 6 out of 6 wins in the last 6 test matches for teams that have been bowling first. And so, contrary to what we go by orthodox test cricket, where you want to come out because it's sunny and you want to apply pressure on the bowling team by scoring runs, that has not been the case. In fact, if anything, because of the fact that the pitch will be fresh, there will be a little bit of grass to work with. Those first couple of sessions might aid, will definitely aid swing, but also might seem a bit for the bowlers. It's also, we need to see how it is actually at the toss and what the captains have to say. But apart from that, I think bowling first, the only thing is the sun going to play some sort of effect? Is the heat going to play some sort of effect? Also, the fact that rain comes into the picture. So that's mostly on the pitch. There might be something for the spinners, most definitely here, and that is something that will be interesting because we'll get to know if India play Jaddu or if they play Kuldeep, or
Right.
the combination might. So yeah, that's on pitch.
You talked about the first innings, second innings average score.
No. Well, on first and second innings average scores at Leeds, this is since 2018, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. 204 is the first innings average score and 291 is for second innings. So clearly there is a favor for teams that are choosing to ball first.
There you go. That's about the pitch itself. But let's talk about how England have done in Leeds. Okay, this is a quiz question. I couldn't wait to ask you guys this. So, the top run scorer in Leeds historically ever in Test cricket is a batter who's only played 4 Test matches. If you guys can tell me the name, I'll give you a shout out. Basically, there's nothing more to this. To give you a little perspective, Joe Root has played 10 Test matches in Leeds, yet he's not the highest scorer in this ground. The highest scorer in this ground is not from England, is one hint, and has only played 4 Test matches in this ground, and yet he's the highest run scorer by a mile, by the way. But yeah, we'll talk about that in a bit. The highest wicket taker in this ground historically is Stuart Broad. Luckily for India, Stuart Broad's not playing against India. I mean, I would have liked to see him and Anderson bowl against the Indian team, but well, he's not playing. But let's look at the England team since whoa, Sudarshan. See, this is my problem. Sudarshan. See, this is why I call him the stat man. Because he is right. Don Bradman is the highest run scorer in this ground. He's only played 4 matches, has scored 963 runs with an average of 192. The man's only played 6 innings in this ground and has 400s in those 6 innings. It's just
That's crazy.
insane to me how how many runs he scored in this ground. Again, it's insane to me because again, Joe Root's played 10 matches in this ground and Don
Yeah.
Bradman's played 4, yet he's the highest run scorer. Yeah, it's just a trivia question. But England and Leeds, they've done well in the last 3 Test matches. That is since 2020, they've won all the 3 Test matches, and it's not against the smaller teams. They won against Australia, they won against New Zealand, and the almighty Indian team. So they won against all 3 teams. Except when you look at the batting averages, except for Joe Root since 2020, I know the sample size is very small. He has an average of 63. He scored 100 in those 3 matches. Apart from him, not people don't. I mean, apart from him, the other batters don't really have the best of averages. Ben Stokes has an average of 37. Zach Crawley has an average of 27, which almost seems like his norm, regardless of where he plays against it, except if it's against Zimbabwe. And I say this, and it might just bite us in the ass because he might just score 100 on day one, but we'll find out. Pope has an average of 75. So there are batters who have scored a lot of runs, but there are also batters who have scored no runs on this ground from the England team. Again, from the bowlers, the highest wicket taker since 2020 is Jack Leach because he got a 10 for, he got a 5 for in both the innings in the match that he played, which is an indication that spin might come into effect. And like Praatibh said, because the pitch may not be a lot drier, but because the conditions, because the environment is a lot drier and warmer, the spinners might come into effect a lot earlier than usual. So it will be surprising if they go with Kuldeep Yadav, but it wouldn't be all
The
that
worst option.
dramatic.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would assume they would go with Jadeja just because he's a bowling all rounder, but we'll find out in the toss. Let's go to Ben and his Jerry's. Oh, that's me.
Oh.
That's basically what I was talking about of how the England have done in Leeds. They've played about 80 matches in Leeds and won. So historically, the England team has won 80 matches in Leeds and they've lost 30% of them, which means this is a ground where they also lose. 30% is quite a high number for a home team to lose Test matches in. Except India haven't done really well, which we will come into, but India should take this number into consideration. knowing the fact that the most experienced bowler in this squad is currently Chris Vokes. Of course, Chris Vokes is absolutely brilliant and goated in English conditions, but his support partners are not all that great. If anything, I think totally they've hardly played 20 test matches, or I think
Not even that much.
15 or
Yeah.
yeah, around less than 15 test matches if you leave Chris Vokes aside. So the Indian team should take this as an advantage. So yeah, the England team may have done well since 2020. 3 matches on a trot. They won 3 out of 3 against the big teams. But this is a very, very different attack. In fact, since the last time India played England in Leeds in this ground, the only person to be in this squad is Joe Root. So that says something about how different the squad's been from the last time. Let's go to Gill and his fins.
Now, for people who didn't get the pun, gills on a fish and fins on a fish. Awesome. But yeah, that's basically talking about Shubman Gill and his men. That's India in England. Now, we've done a couple of videos on this. One on the bowlers will be dropping today. So watch out for that during the test match's lunch break so that you guys can watch it all. But yeah, I think this is a fairly new look Indian side in the sense that your main batters and to some extent your main bowlers are not going to be playing all the test matches. We know that Bumrah is only going to be part of 3 test matches. Siraj very likely is going to be the spearhead of the attack because of Bumrah's limited availability. Apart from that, there's a big hole in the batting order in the likes of Kohli, Rohit, and even if you consider the last time around Pujara, Rahane not being in the squad. And so, from that point of view, KL Rahul does become our most important batter. At the top of the innings, whenever he's opened in England, which is 16 out of the 18 innings that he has played in England, he has an average of 37. He's the only opener to have multiple overseas centuries. That's also something we'll get to later on in the matchups. But apart from that, so the only other 2 batters who've done well in English conditions, Rishabh Pant, he has 200s, one from 2018, one from 2021. And Jaddu, who also got 100 last time around, they played. But apart from that, Gill only has played 3 test matches here with an average of just 14.6. So still a very small sample size, but Gill moving down to 4 is probably going to favor him. What's going to be important to see is what the batting order will look like, which will probably be cleared at the toss once we know the 11 because we'll know who very definitely is going to bat at number 3. But apart from that, I think India start not as underdogs per se, simply because of the fact that English bowlers are not very experienced. I think if they play out Chris Wokes well enough, and if they can just play out those 2 sessions, if they are put into bat first, that is something that will hold the Indian players in good stead. But apart from that, I think I've covered most of it. In terms of our bowlers, Bumrah has got 37 wickets here. Jaddu's got 27 wickets. Siraj has got 23 wickets. But Jaddu has struggled a fair bit in English conditions. Having said that, because of the kind of pitch that Headingley is, and because of all of the talk about the conditions, Jaddu, if he plays, will definitely come into. There anything else I am missing out? India since 2021, in fact since 2018, have played just 1 test match at Leeds, which was in
In fact,
2021.
since 2014.
Since 2014, and they lost that match by an innings. So not happy
Yeah,
memories here.
78 all out in the first innings. So.
Yeah, so that's something to keep in mind for the Indian team. No batter in the current 11 has scored even a 50 at this ground.
Yeah, true.
So it is going to be nerves coming into this particular fixture at this ground, and that's very likely why England have also kept this as the first test venue with psychological advantage England.
Oh, what timing! Praatib's camera stopped working. And now, 8 started working. Brilliant. All right, so we'll wait for the toss to talk about playing 11s. We know the England playing 11. If you guys didn't know already, it's Ben Stokes, Zach Rowley, Ben Duckett, Ollie Pope, Joe Root, Harry Brook, Jamie Smith, Chris Wokes, Bryden Cast, Josh Tongue, and Shoaib Bashir. Very interesting how Jack Leach has just gone out of the radar for a bit after the India series where Shoaib Bashir
Bash.
took a couple of wickets.
Yeah.
Actually, a lot of wickets. Gill and his school, maybe? Nice.
That's a good one.
It seems Sai Sudarshan has been confirmed to play at number 3. You're
Whoa.
joking. It seems Sai Sudarshan. Oh, damn. Sai Sudarshan making his debut. That is. Oh, that is shocking.
Wait, so is Karun?
I mean,
Out,
we
play
wouldn't know that. He wouldn't get a test cap.
No, not a test cap. Yeah, true. Does this
Oh,
mean
that's-
Karun's batting at 6? Be very interesting.
Yeah, which would be very
Yeah.
interesting. Damn.
Damn.
Pinto Painter. Why clean shave? Just gotta do what you gotta do. Will Ben Stokes punch someone again? Vishal, I know what you're doing, Vishal. And we'll just let it go. Sai Sudarshan has been handed his cap. So there you go. Sai Sudarshan is making his debut. He
Damn.
will possibly bat at number 3. It is a bit of a push, to
Yeah.
be honest,
Yeah.
to get him playing the first test match without a practice game against the England Lions. The only practice game he played was against
Intra
the
squad.
India, the intra
Yeah.
squad
Yeah.
game. And so, man, oh man, they do trust him a lot. We made an entire video on how he's not ready yet. Apparently, we are wrong. Hopefully, we are wrong because we don't want him to fail.
Yeah.
If anything, I love the guy. He's a left handed batter. If he's the number 3, we have, see, rem- removing the averages and numbers aside, if he's the number 3, if you look at our top 4, it's pretty dynamic because you
Yeah.
have Jaiswal, who's predominantly attacking. You have
And a
KL
lefty.
Rahul,
Yeah.
who sticks around. You have Sai Sudarshan, who will find out how he bats. And then we have Shubman Gill, who's naturally attacking. And then we have Rishabh Pant.
It's going to be, yeah, that is a very dynamic top 4. And I'm also wondering, like, if Karun still gets a game, does he play number 6?
It'll be shocking
Yeah.
if Karuna doesn't get a game.
Yeah, and do they swap? Does Karun still bat 3 and Sai Sudarshan bat 6? Too late.
Yeah.
This is going to be a lot of fun to watch.
Karuna at 6, Thakur and Prasid confirmed. Yeah,
Wow.
Shardul Thakur apparently marked his run up according to Shudar. Guys, saw
Yeah.
a podcast with Jared Kimber yesterday. Congratulations for achieving this feat. Thanks for that.
Thank you.
In retrospect, we could have done a lot better job, but
Yeah.
here we are. We'll learn. Sai surprising. Yeah, it is surprising. It's surprising for me because I'm just hoping Karuna still gets a game. Like,
Yeah,
he
like-
hasn't done anything wrong. If anything, he's done everything to get a game.
If they've picked Sai over Karun,
Yeah, that's just,
that's a bit of a red flag. I
yeah.
don't know, but if it's Sai and Karun, that's really interesting.
Man, what has Dhruv Jurel done wrong?
Not converted any of his 100.
That's insane to me. Dhruv Jurel, except for the last innings against the England Lion in the second test match, I think he had 4 or 5 consecutive 50s in practice games.
Yeah, 2.
Podagaskar
5.
Trophy, yeah, 5. And dude, you can't. I mean, it's fine. Well, let's wait till the playing 11's announced. But good on Sai Sudarshan. I mean, if we were to talk about him, this season is a season for him. He had
His
a
breakout season.
fantastic IPL. He scored 100 before the Border-Gavaskar Trophy in the practice match against the Australia A, the President's
Minister-
11, Prime Minister's 11, yeah.
Yeah.
And so he scored those runs. He scored some red ball runs. He hasn't played the Ranji Trophy because I think he got injured in the middle last season before the IPL. He didn't play the Dilip Trophy as well, if I'm not mistaken. But
Yeah, I think it was
yeah, I really enjoyed the Kimber episode. Will there be more in the future? Hopefully.
hopefully. Yeah.
Feel sad for Jurel. Yeah, Shardul Thakur or Nitish Kumar Reddy as the 4th pacer, or go with Dhruv Jurel to lengthen the batting. If you were to go with the 4th pacer, Shardul Thakur all day.
Yeah, Shardul just trumps Nitish with bowling ability like any day.
Yeah.
And Shardul's also got 350s in just 7 innings. So,
True.
you know, he can hold his own with the bat, provides you more with the ball. And he's a bit of a golden arm.
Yeah. We have 10 minutes before the toss. You know what? We'll let you know what our playing 11 is. Some of the players who made test debut. Oh, damn. Rahul Dravid, Saurav Ganguly, Virat Kohli. Some of the players who made test debut on June 20th. And another one being Sai Sudarshan. That's insane.
Illustrious list.
Sudarshan, dude, we missed you in the chat during the IPL, but we are glad we got you in the red ball format. Channel 2, I have no jokes to make, guys. I'm just really you two made it to Jared's. Heard you all talk about your dream to work with him and never thought it would come true so quick. Congrats. Hey, thanks, man. We are not
True.
working with him. It was one episode,
Yeah.
but yeah, still, I think it
A
was
good
great.
starting point, but yeah.
1996, Rahul Dravid and Ganguly. Yeah, that's true.
And they both got 90 odds.
No,
on
I think Ganguly
Ganguly
scored
got a
100.
century, yeah.
Ganguly got 100 on
Dravid
debut.
got out for 90.
All right,
something.
let's both of us know what our playing 11 should look like.
Yeah.
It's the same. So before we go to the toss, what's our playing 11? Of course, now Sai
Oh.
Sudarshan is there, but imagine if he wasn't there. What was our playing 11 going to be?
So our playing 11 was going to be, and you guys can also have your playing 11s in the chat. That'll be nice. Get some discourse going. But yeah, ours was going to be KL, Jaiswal, Karun Nair, Shubman Gill. You have Pant at 5, Jaddu 6, Jurel 6, Jaddu 7, Thakur 8, and then your fast bowlers,
Yep.
which are Bumrah, Siraj, and
Prasid.
Prasid. So that was what we had in mind.
Yeah, that was what we wanted to do.
Yeah.
But yes. I mean, I'm glad
it's
Sai
interesting.
Sudarshan's getting a game. I just didn't think it was going to be so early on.
There's clearly something that beyond numbers obviously has been spoken about.
Of course.
That's also something we covered in the Kimber episode itself.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very interesting, and honestly, might be a series defining move.
You never
never
know. I
know.
mean, yeah. To be fair, every time Gautam Gambhir is brought on a surprising pick, okay, not Gautam Gambhir, let's say the team management, because of course the captain's involved, he needs
Yeah.
to agree.
Yeah.
Every time Gautam Gambhir, the coach, and the team management have agreed to bring on a surprising pick, they've done well. Sundar in the New Zealand series, he
NKR,
picked well. Yeah, Nitish Kumar
Australia.
Reddy, Harshit Rana, for the most part, for at least some part, did well in the Border Gavaskar Trophy. So every
Yeah.
surprise pick has done well. It's just the long term decisions that don't make sense. But yeah, Thakur is the only one who has good record against Root. Oh, that's not true. Bumrah has a fantastic record
Bumrah's got.
against Root.
We'll get to that in
Yeah,
a
we'll talk about matchups. Yeah, sign the squad is a big blunder. We don't know that yet. The bigger blunder would be who is he in place of.
Yeah, like
That's the most
are
interesting
they?
thing.
Is he trumping Karun? Because then that goes against what everyone, literally every pundit has
Yeah.
spoken about.
What's the squad, guys? Srikanth, good to see you. You had to work all day. Very nice. The squad will be announced at 3 o'clock because the toss is at 3. I hope side as well. Can't believe these guys. These They might bring Harshit over Siraj and surprise. Oh
Dude,
my god.
let's really hope that doesn't happen, because even in the practice game, Harshit Rana looked completely out of sorts.
Yeah.
No seam, no swing for on a pitch that was conducive, and where others were getting whatever they got purchased. Anshul Kamboj being sent back to India is a whole other
Sarfaraz
conversation.
Khan being sent
Sarfaraz
back.
Khan, we couldn't even cover it in the podcast. We did saw a
Yeah.
couple of comments, but yeah, got a feel for them.
According to Greek Info and according to Sudarshan, both Karun and Sai are playing. So Karun bats number 6. Unless they make Sai bat number 6. I mean, it's fine. Like,
I mean, yeah, like
both are
that's
pure
where
batters. You can just flip them around every
that's
time.
where a lot of the players have started their
Yeah, and
careers.
also that's also where the second new ball comes into play. So usually, I mean, if he last 80 overs, I feel bad for Anshul Kamboj. Yeah, that is
Yeah,
true.
100%.
If you guys are going by numbers, it's different. But if you guys watch the practice game, you should know that Anshul Kamboj was one of the best bowlers off the lot. The way he was able to control his line and length with the amount of swing he was getting, it was just beautiful to watch. It's quite surprising he's not stayed back in England, but here we are. I feel Anshul should have been kept as an option. There is a narrative being delivered by Gauti with dropped Ruturaj in T20s, Jadeja in tests, and then Kamboj not being kept as reserve. Oh, that's a question. Very interesting. I mean, Ruturaj in T20s, I think it's because of style of play. And as much as Ruturaj should have been in the T20 squad, I think it's like baseball. I think with the style of play, there are a lot of test players who are just omitted because they don't fit the style. Is that the right thing to do? It's always debatable. Jadeja in tests, I don't know. Oh, he was dropped in the Border Gavaskar Trophy, right? I don't know, to be honest. Come here, leaving Hotstar pre-match show. Oh, this Hotstar. I thought it's Sony Live, but thank you for coming here. We will. All right. So 6 minutes before the toss, a reminder for all of you guys: 75 people in. Well, we had 75 people in, I think, in an IPL final. So it's
Final, yeah.
great to see day one pre-match. You guys joining in. A reminder for all of you guys: 6 minutes before the toss, we will go away for the toss, but then also come back after the toss and talk about a lot more things because there is a lot more to talk about. Talking about matchups, talking about how players have done in England and Leeds.
Playing
So
11.
there's the playing 11 itself, which
Yeah.
quite honestly is making me nervous. But yeah,
Yeah, if Rana is in 11, downfall is real. Yeah.
seeing Karun's practice yesterday, he'll play for sure. Is just where Sai will play.
Yeah.
Sai is playing. Yeah, 5 minutes to go. 5 minutes indeed. What about Abhimanyu Ishwaran? I think Abhimanyu Ishwaran is way down in the pecking order.
It's okay. So here's the thing, right? I've seen arguments online that are talking about how Abhimanyu Ishwaran has done it for a lot of years. He's been consistent, and so he deserves to bat at number 3. The thing is, he's done well opening in domestic cricket, and he struggled on the India A tours. In fact, in all of the matches that have happened between the Prime Minister's 11 before BGT and against the England Lions, he's got just 150 to show for all of these innings. If Abhimanyu Ishwaran had gotten scores, then there would have been a conversation or a more concrete debate around him being a number.
True.
But it does not seem to.
Well, that's a very interesting question. So, Arihan Joshi asked, why can't Karun go at 5 and Pant play at 6? I don't think Sai will bat at 6 because if Pant is your number 5, you won't have two
Two
left-handers
lefties back to back.
which I think is okay. I think it's okay, but then I don't think Gautam Gambhir would find it okay. So I think Karun bats at number 6. Why can't Karun bat at number 5 and Pant at 6? Because you want Pant at 5. He is more established. He's an attacking kind of batter. I just feel like Punch should not be coming into situations where he's saving the game and can just play his game. Because a lot of the times when you're batting number six, especially overseas, you're walking into bat when your team is whatever 100 for four, 105 for four, and you're
Yeah.
walking and trying to save the innings. Punch shouldn't have that. Punch should be able to do what he needs to do by having wickets and batters around him batting and not him batting with the tail.
Plus, I think even by virtue of figures and done, I
Oh yeah,
think he's better, like statistically also at 5. And it just gives him a lot more time to be able to get into his innings. Because
right.
as Ashwin said, Pant is usually coming into situations where he comes in and then there's a wicket that goes on the other end and then he's batting with the tail.
True. All right. So 3 minutes before the toss, if you oh my now my voice might echo actually. So 3 minutes before the toss, and so something to keep in mind is that oh yeah, if you guys weren't here in the beginning, win the toss, you would usually want to bowl first because in the last six test matches played in Leeds, bowling first has won you the game. The
Yeah.
last three test matches that England won, they bowled first and won. And did you talk about the chases, the fourth innings chases of how
Oh, that'll come in the. We'll do that in the end.
okay, fine. So the possibility of chasing in the fourth innings is not as drastic as some people might think. So it is quite
There's actually
possible.
some huge fourth inning
Yeah.
scores that have been posted.
But something to keep in mind is that it's a drier pitch. It's a drier condition. We might not know about the pitch itself. So that might be something to keep in mind. But
And rain
yes,
also might come into the picture.
yeah, rain might also come into the picture. Yeah, I just think bowling first seems logical unless Ruth has the same batting average against Thakur and Bumrah, more than 100 against Siraj.
Oof.
31 and 6. Yeah, that's true. Damn. All right. So 2 minutes before the toss, a reminder to you guys, we will go and then come back. Siraj needs to do well. Siraj will need to step up. Guys, what do you think about Kamboj being sent back while Harshit Rana being asked to stay back? If this is not favoritism, then what is it? No, it is favoritism. It's just,
It's blatant. Like it's not even hidden anymore.
yeah. But yes, like we said, we will go during the toss and then we'll come back. First of all, thank you guys so much for support. Like we didn't expect a lot of
These
people,
many. That too
especially
first day, first morning.
yeah, first
Yeah.
morning Friday afternoon in
Yeah.
India. So thank you guys so much for joining us. We will be back, as in the live isn't stopping. We'll just change the screen so that you can't hear us talk. A minute before the toss. So we will go and then we will come back and then we will see you guys. Stay tuned. We'll talk. There's a lot more to talk about. we, we are back with the playing 11. So it is confirmed. First of all, England win the toss, choose to bowl first. Statistically,
We've lost the game.
yeah,
But
statistically, we've lost the game. The last six test matches, bowling first has won. England hasn't lost since 2020. All three bowling first.
this is where I want to be an optimist and say that the weather is extremely
Yeah,
dry.
yeah. The weather looks fantastic, to be honest. It's
Yeah,
sunny
sunny.
outside.
Yeah.
It's a fresh pitch, so the Indian batters will need to be careful. Like Gill said, and I liked what he said, get through the first session, and then it's a good batting wicket. And I think it's exactly that. And that's also why you would want to bowl first, because in the first batting, in the first session, you would put a lot of pressure in. But yeah, let's get into a lot of things that we were going to get into anyways. Let's talk about what were we going to talk about?
Well, firstly, the playing 11.
Oh yeah, addressing the playing 11. So I'll address India's playing 11, and then oh yeah, so we don't know who's. Also, we do know that Sai Sudarshan's batting number 3.
Karun.
He gets his test cap from Chiteshwar Pujara. I think it's poetic for him to do that, for him to get his cap from one of the greatest number 3s India's had.
A good number 3 for it. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
fair. I mean, one of the greatest could be one of anywhere no, on
Yeah,
the list.
yeah.
But yes, Karun Nair possibly batting at number 6. I would want to see Rishabh Pant at number 5, Shubman Gill at number 4. Of course, KL Rahul and Yashasvi Jaiswal opening the batting. I am still not sure who the bowlers are as of yet. That is an interesting wait. And hopefully Jadeja is still in the squad. So that's another wait. But yeah, it is a bit shocking that Sai Sudarshan makes his debut in the first test match itself, leaving Dhruv Jurel. It's kind of disappointing, just as someone who would want to see Dhruv Jurel bat, because he's been scoring not those massive hundreds, but he's consistently been scoring runs. And I think somewhere he would be disappointed. I hope the Indian management don't see him just as a backup wicketkeeper and use him as a batter. But for now, Sai Sudarshan makes his debut. We're all rooting for him. If he's the new number 3 India's backing, I only hope that he scores a lot of runs. He has flair. He's a fantastic left-handed, stylish batter who reminds me a lot of Brian Lara. Just the way he goes about his batting, the flair that he has, the cut shots. I'm just hoping he's able to put his foot and stamp his authority in that number 3 position in this squad against England. Do you want to talk about
Awesome.
matchups? Do you want to talk about particular matchups before they
Yeah.
update the playing 11s?
Yeah, we can actually go for matchups. So Sudarshan's already said that Bumrah, Siraj, Prasidh, Jaddu at 7.
Oh, fair.
I'm going to trust Sudarshan on this. He's probably correct. Sai Sudarshan's at 3. Karun's mostly at 6.
Yep.
That's what the combination is. If any
I
of you
think the
missed
bowling lineup is solid. I think they got the bowling lineup.
Yeah,
Jadeja,
yeah,
Shardul, Bumrah,
Shardul
Siraj, Prasidh. Yeah,
makes sense.
it
Yeah.
just completely makes sense.
Yeah, I think bowling lineup is fully on point. As for the matchups themselves, I think something we also spoke about and something in the chat as well was who's going to get Joe Root out. Jasprit Bumrah, Shardul Thakur both have good records. Bumrah, in fact, has got Joe Root out 9 times, which is second only to Pat Cummins and Josh Hazelwood, is what I want to say, who got him 10 and 11 times respectively. Apart from that, something that I've also covered in a video just very recently is that KL Rahul is going to be a very important man for India. More so now because India has been put into bat on possibly the toughest conditions for batsmen in this test match. Let's be very honest, this is the only time there's going to be any sort of grass covering, any kind of swing or seam movement. So KL will have to be a little wary of the wobble seam. That's what has done him in the past. We'll actually be covering the wobble seam today in a video that's coming out, so stay tuned for that. But yeah, KL Rahul, without a doubt, India's man. He has to make sure that he holds one end out. India does not want to be in a situation this morning where they end up losing 4 wickets in the first session, because then it's game on and actually it's game gone. So yeah, that's where it's at. But yeah, so coming to Headingley's record, India have played 7 previous tests at Headingley, where they've lost 4, they've drawn 1. The only 2 times they've won, 1986 and 2002. In 1986, we went on to win the series in England, and in 2002, we drew 1-1 under Saurav Ganguly. So winning here psychologically will be huge for India. It might possibly define how the series goes for us. Apart from that, I think the only other couple of matchups that I want to talk about, actually just one matchup, it's Chris Wokes and how he shapes up to the Indian batters, because he is someone who will exploit these conditions to the fullest. He's someone who balls good seam deliveries. He can get it to seam, nip both ways, gets a little bit of movement in the air. And Chris Wokes is also, ever since James Anderson was out, was basically retired. Chris Wokes has played 8 test matches where he's gotten 31 wickets. So he's clearly been spearheading that English attack. And here's one thing that we also wanted to talk about, something that also came to light. So how much we talk about averages and numbers is we often talk about Shubman Gill in the form of his numbers and how by virtue of average, he just averages about 35 odd in the 33 test matches that he has played. But something to note is that the average Indian batting lineup average batting average has been just 32 during this period. So maybe give some leeway to Shubman Gill and hopefully he comes out all guns blazing at number 4. That's all we can expect. But yeah, honestly, that's it on the matchups.
Very interesting. Let's address your chits. Someone asked, what do you, not someone, Harshit asked, what do you think about Karun at number 6? Even in practice matches, he played at number 3, not number 2. He didn't open and scored 200 plus. Do you think the Indian management is making a mistake? Go on.
I think in their head, how they're thinking about this is that because Karun has that experience,
Yep.
and suppose India are to have a collapse,
True.
you can just rely on Karun.
Yeah.
And I think, if I'm not wrong, even when he started playing for India, that was
Yeah,
the
number 5,
position
number 6.
of
Yeah,
number 6. So if he is more comfortable and if there is a communication that he himself wants to bat there, it makes sense. Even otherwise, I can see the tactical move, but I I'm not. I won't be surprised if they probably switch Sai and Karun if Sai fails to perform.
right.
That might be something.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but I think Karun batting at number 6, I think you're spot on with that. I think it's the experience. I think if India bat long enough, he bats against the second ball. And I think, yeah, I think you'd rather have Karun Nair. I mean, I don't know, actually. Now I'm just switching up, I think. But Karun Nair at number 6 is not the worst option. Would you want him to bat at number 3? Sure. But if you're going with someone like a Sai Sudarshan at number 3, then you just go with Karun Nair at number 6. Dhruv Jurel, again, being dropped is a disappointment, but that is for another day. Soham, the management has already made 2 mistakes, letting go of Sarfaraz and drafting Harshit Rana ahead of Anshul Kamboj. True. I mean, none of them make it into the squad. So as much as we can talk about who's gone away and not, in today's playing 11, none of them are there. So it's fine. Yeah, I meant to say in 3. Yeah, no, I realized. That's fine. Ritesh, when Shubman Gill said Karun, I just remember that Jane Kuli ki main Kuli ki movie.
Okay.
So there's Karan in that.
This Karan.
I have no idea. Vokes versus Sai. Yeah, Chris Vokes was a left-hander is something that he likes.
Take
and
the
Chris,
ball away across.
yeah. But that way, you could also say Chris Vokes versus Jaiswal. So Jaiswal, it will be a very important series for him. You know what my problem is? I just wish people didn't hype up Jaiswal so much because the man's allowed to fail. It's his first tour in England, and people expect him to score 500 runs by the end of the series. Or more than that, actually. It's a 5 test match series.
Yeah.
But I just hope the expectation that Jaiswal has on himself doesn't add the pressure on him because he is allowed to fail. Like, it's okay if he does fail. I don't want him to fail. I would want him to score, and we will criticize him if he doesn't score. But he is allowed to fail. It's his first series. Remember, Virat Kohli's first England series was a disaster. So
Average 9.5.
yeah. Karan has no surname. He was oh, I don't know how to feel about throwing Sai into the deep end like this. To be fair, if I was Sai Sudarshan, I wouldn't think it was a deep end at all. I've had a fantastic IPL. I've scored in Australia in the practice game. I would have probably scored in the intra-squad game. I think I'd be excited to bat at number 3 for India. If anything, I would be excited. Of course, I'd be nervous. But I think he'll take this as an opportunity to score runs. He also has experience in county cricket. I think it's a build-up because he went to county. Arshdeep played in county. Now they're all in the squad. So I think they've all known this somewhere down the line. Is the shiny toy syndrome. According to Indian fans, someone is the greatest ever and overrated within a test match. Oh yeah, completely agree. Yeah, I agree with that. Also, I feel like I'm so scared for Jaiswal to fail, not because he might fail, but because of what people might say after he fails. Brook and Roots home test match.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, Harry Brook, he could score a lot of runs. Bro, get your facial hair back. Polania. Fun fact. Go on, judge. Give us a fun fact. But yeah, all right, so we do know I don't think we'll stay till 3:30 because
Match starts at 3:30.
yeah, because we're basically done with what we want to talk about. But Right. So the last 6 matches, bowling first has won you the game.
Yeah.
Last 3 matches, England has played. They won the game against Australia, India, and New
Bowling
Zealand.
first.
All bowling first. But now India's batting first. We
Can
know that the first session might just be a little difficult. The sun is beating down, though the sky is clear. What are you, as an opening batter, going to do? What is your game plan? Doesn't matter if you're Karuna, or doesn't matter if you're KL Rahul or Jaiswal. What's your game plan? You as you as the captain or you as the opener? What's your game plan going into the first over?
first session, just play it out. Please don't lose wickets, which is impossible. I
Yeah.
think if India can go through the first session without losing more than two and scoring some runs, it'll be decent. But I think India's objective should not be to survive. It should obviously be to play the ball on the merit and score whenever they can, but be watchful because this is probably going to be the toughest 2 sessions in the test match for
True.
batters. Yeah.
True.
You don't want to lose wickets.
Yeah. Vishal, I think you really want to put this stat out there. So India were at a time 66 for 6 in an innings for a total of 6 times in 2014 series in England. That's scary, if anything. If
Yeah.
that happens again, Kohli did like 134 in 5 tests for first tour and then 593 in the next 4 test matches in
Yeah,
England.
correct.
Yeah, exactly.
Jaiswal
Jaiswal,
needs time.
yeah, he needs time. He needs to perform. Don't get me wrong. He needs to perform, but it's okay if he doesn't, is my point. In England, Vokes averages 15 bowling around the wicket to left-handers exactly and 18. Yeah, Vokes against anyone in England, he's like the home bully. He's like Usman Khawaja
He's
in
like
the...
James Anderson.
I was gonna say, he's like Usman Khawaja early in his career, where
Yeah.
Australia will only play Khawaja in Asia because he's the only one apparently who knew how to play
Scoring
spin.
runs, yeah.
And Chris Wokes is exactly like that. I still think this is a scoring wicket even with tough conditions, even on the first day. Yeah, it is a scoring wicket. Do you want to talk about the fourth innings chases now?
Oh, yeah.
So the reason teams bowling first have gone on to win is because of how batters were able to play in the fourth innings. And how have they been able to play? Cue Praatibh.
Last 4 successful chases in the 4th innings. Oh, guys, I'm gone. Back.
Right.
Awesome. Last 4 successful chases that have happened in test matches here in Headingley, the scores in the 4th innings are as follows: 322, 359, 296, and 251. That's not something you see every day in a test match. The moment the score goes over 200, traditionally you're thinking, oh, this team's going to have a tough time chasing it
True.
in the 4th innings. But not been the case at Headingley. So
Yeah.
England have won a really good toss, and India will have to fight out of their skins
Yeah,
to make sure they don't start off this.
yeah, true. I think something India can think about. AI Wi-Fi not working. No, it's the camera's problem, brother. But something India can think about is we know how the England batters are going to go about the batting, which technically, if you think about it, would mean they won't give the England bowlers a lot of break, which would then mean just stay out as long as possible as Indian batters. You don't need to change your game. I think Jaiswal will continue to attack. KL Rahul hopefully continues to do what he does and bat as long as possible to not only keep the bowlers out there, but to make sure when the England batters come to bat and they score those quick runs and they get all out, the England bowlers don't get that break. And this isn't just a one test match thing. It's a 5 test match series. It's a long series. Talking about Bumrah not being able to play 5 test matches. Yeah, not every England fast bowlers are going to play 5 test matches. So making sure they're on the field for a long time is also important. It's just something that you would have to do. But yes, we will go
Yeah.
now because we could keep doing this and our viewership might just come down. But yeah, to summarize, England have won the toss, chosen to bowl first. India debut Sai Sudarshan playing at number 3, Karuna at number 6. The 4 bowlers are
Prasidh, Siraj, Bumrah, and Shardul Thakur.
and Jadeja the spinner.
Jaddu spinner.
But yes, it should be an exciting test match. We will, of course, see you by the end of day's play. Hopefully, it's not filled with anger, but excitement and positives. But yeah, India batting first on the first test. I was already nervous before the test match started. Here we are. Predictions. Oh, so something we could actually talk about. We usually have this before the day's play, which we will have a segment on. But who is a batter that should be watched today?
Today,
Do you think the debutant? He would be the most
the debutant,
interesting.
yeah, will have a lot of limelight.
Yeah.
He could just turn up and score 80. Or
350 runs.
that would be crazy. Karun Nair would be kicking himself once again because India declare before he comes into bat.
That's true.
But
But yeah,
yeah,
which batter do you think is essential on day one of this test match?
KL Rahul for me is key. How Shubman Gill goes at 4, basically, I think the top 4 is
Right.
going to be very important. But if I had to pick one, KL Rahul for me.
Right. So that's been. Damn it, I was trying to look for a comment. Raul will take the show today. Akshay, that is the hope. Thank you guys so much for watching and joining us on day one of this
Yeah.
day one pre-match, because we also have post-match. So day one pre-match and our first ever live of this series. It's been exciting. A lot of you guys joined in, which is always nice to see. See you at 11 p.m. or 11:30, depending on how the day goes. We will have so much to talk about post-day. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hit that like, share, and subscribe. We will also be posting a video at 5 p.m.
Yeah.
about.
It'll be about India's bowlers, what they need to do. It'll be about the wobble seam, as I've seen in the comments, the nip backer, a lot of those things. And there's going to be a small special bit, so watch out for that. And like the stream, guys, push it out to more people.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching. Peace.